We got everything together, at least I think we do. Now it's time for us to get popping off on the show. I need to make sure that everything is streaming properly. I just sent out a text message that I meant to send out yesterday, but it just went out today. I'm slipping. I'm sorry. But hey, it is what it is. So right now I'm going through to check the data stream to see where we streaming before we actually get started. I'll send out the black signal once I know that everything is online, everything is working. Okay. We're live on Gye-Nyame Journey. We're live on YouTube. We're live on well, we're not on Twitch yet. We're on Twitch now. And they say we're online on Periscope. All right, so now let's go through and make sure. So we don't show anything on the YouTube site as of yet. We're streaming, so stuff, may be moving slow. Something just popped up on Facebook. At least that's what it says. So let's see. Okay. So we live on Facebook. So we're about to see. Giving people time to get in. All right, the signal went out. The black signal ain't go out yet. I'm about to send out the black signal because I just sent something out. And I know people gonna be like, I'm cutting, brother. Brother, I tell you, you're taking up too much bandwidth. You're taking up too much bandwidth in my life, man. And I can't stand it. No, I can't stand it. Brother, I tell you. Shouts out to Miss Bria Gaucher. I see you out there in the house. Welcome. All right, so I'm making sure everything is straight. Make sure you better not hit one of my kids. Make sure the girls is getting ready, because we're gonna get out of here. Cause hopefully we have a lively toast and talk. Family, you're gonna be noticing some differences in the scenes. I've been working. I got a little bit more work to do. I'm looking forward to the warrior training. And Cleveland. It's about to go down here because it's real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. Real life. I'm going to get a real life camera, so every time I say real life at Gye-Nyame Journey, I'm going to turn to the camera and give it a look. Because it's real life here at this motherfucker here. Because somebody... I thought my son went upstairs and did something I just told him not to do. It was about to get nasty around these parts. All right, so we are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. And we are now sending out the black signal, which means, family, I can welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. So somebody was messing with anime that shouldn't have been messing with anime. Come here, Sasha. Gye-Nyame Journey Media. It sounds like you're crying. Come here. All right.
We're just watching something.
Okay. All right. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. The home. Oh, my fault. Oh, this is this is Toast&Talk Kuumba and Audible Summer Production. Where we strive to blow up the old paradigm. Drink your water. Come some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, breathe, breathe, then drink. Come on, take that deep breath with me. Now, grab your glass for some water. Get your picture of that water. Lift that picture of that water. Simply pour some water. It's not hard. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Stretch. Move your body, drink some water. Oh. Move your body, drink some water. Hey. Family, move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, move, move, then drink. Man. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Come on. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. What? Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, live, toast, dance. Oh man. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Hey, hey. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. But to stay healthy, remember the 4 pillars, family. Breathe, drink, eat, move. You have your weighted ounces. Eat a coach to the appropriate job. But hey, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Ancestors, drink up, family, 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 from wide and far and wherever you are. Listen, we are going to toast our ancestors so we can have some time to have the toast and talk. We have, oh snap, okay, all right, I might not be able to do that. All right, but we had the options. We had an option for those that want to call in, right? If you want to be on camera, you must call in and use your video, the video portion, whether it's on your laptop. I don't know if you could do it using your phone, but you can actually show up on Gye-Nyame Journey this morning with Brother Hakeem. We done solved the technical difficulties. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. We're not playing here on the journey, right? Like I said, man, family, listen, we are about to take this, we got to take this digital thing to the next level. This is the gold mines. This is where all the stuff is. We got all this intellectual property and we ain't marketing it. We're not handling our business with it. We got to start controlling it and then parlay the little bit of money we get from that into something else, right? That's what I'm going to be talking about today at the Warrior Training. Just a little bit, just a tad. I'm just sprinkling a little bit of it out there. You understand what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Season it up just a little bit. Now, family, listen. So, for those that don't know, at 2 p.m., you know what I'm saying? 2 p.m., we will be having our Warrior Training. Okay? So, now I'm excited about that. But also what's going to be going on a little bit at the Warrior Training is Miss Tracy going to be doing her thing. Of course, the Black Yoda is going to come in. And if he chooses, he can. If he don't, you know what I'm saying? Sister Nabita going to be there. Brother Allende going to be doing the drum and dance. So, we're going to have... you know, hopefully the crew is there so that they could start, you know, so they could teach the young people and some of the old people some African dance moves. Now, I haven't got the martial art there yet, but I'm working on getting the martial art back so that we can start getting things moving. But, you know, we're moving into Malcolm X season, so I'm getting kind of hyped right now, you know, because we got to go and get that celebration together. Family, I'm hyped today, and I want to thank everybody out there for the birthday wishes. Oh my God, I'm on my birthday. I got them the day after my birthday. I got some the day before my birthday. And family, I truly appreciate all that y'all do. So now we're moving full steam into the Malcolm X piece, and I mean, I'm just, there's no better group that I could be doing it with at this point in time. So, because I need to make sure people know where to go. And also, let's put it over here on this one too, so I can show you. So now, what I need to work on now is I done got the OBS system down. What I need to learn how to do is to, I can't figure out the Streamlab OBS. Now, once I get the Streamlab OBS, things might be a whole lot better than they are right now. This OBS right here, cold-blooded. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking it. You know, I'm able to do a lot of different stuff, as you will see in a few seconds, in a few minutes. And some of y'all have already seen. But let's do that. I'm going to do that. Let me just go here and show you just a little bit of what we could do on this damn thing here. So, what is that URL? Better yet, let's don't do that. Let's do this. It's Gumroad. .co // Malcolm X. Oh, I messed up. I'll come back to it later. I promise I'm going to come back to it later. But let me go and share this up on the thing. Where we at? Okay, right here. I'm going to share right here. So you can go on and help us support the Malcolm X Festival. Like I said, when you support us, we support you. Oh, there it go right there. Hold on. Let's go and type that in right there. Yep. I should have. X Fest. So y'all can see what it look like. Wow. So I'm sharing it. Go on and share it, Brother High Tim. Sharing it on the link. It didn't take me. Why didn't it do that? Why did it do that? what is it? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. So let me go over here to the chat. Well, whatever. Family, I just wanted to show you what I can show you. All right, so let me show you what I can do. All right, so we got what I call a news feed, right? And on the news feed, I'll be able to show you whatever is on the page. So let me go on over here and make sure that you're able to see that. So what'll happen is that everything that I go to, I could be able to show you live and live in color. The only issue is I don't know if I will be able to play videos or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, like for those that want to join us on the call, wow. You know what I'm saying? Either your image will pop up or the actual video conference will pop up. So, I mean, like shit, we doing it here, Gye-Nyame Journey. So those that want to call in, once we open up the call lines, by all means, feel free to join us. So now let's go and get this toast up and popping. And of course, I want to make sure that we are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. So let's get it. So first, let's see if we can get this one off, because y'all know I've been wrestling with this one for the last couple of weeks. It's kind of shy. It don't like to come off in front of people. So I don't know what's going on with this one. I'm going to have to change this. Once I get this cork out, I got to remember not to put this cork back up in this one here. Because this is embarrassing. It's just downright embarrassing. All right, cool. We'll pour libations with the other one. How much we got left? Oh, we ain't got that much coffee left. So I won't use that one. We'll use the mango. Come on, mango. All right. So we're going to pour these libations. Or do the toast, as some of you know. Do the toast, then we'll open up the lines. So first, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call the Creator, we lift up our glass, we salute that Creator, and we say, Ashe. From their family, what we do, and y'all know what we do, we raise up our glass and we salute those ancestors that are in our family lines, right? So, we start off with Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robin and Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William Walter, Chris Fanny Gasson, Arlena, Uncle Chris, Fiend, Cleveland Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Washer Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Washer Ellis, Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pimenel, Normal X, Pet Mott Rob, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coben, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Dale Pullian, the Luxter Brothers, Miss Edith Brooke Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renneman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Louis Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Mel Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sel Well, Levita Farmer, Ago Sosu, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Terrell Dunbar, TC Islam, right around Shaka's ancestors. So I'm about to go and learn that one. So we are at let me go up a little bit. Damn, we pretty far down the list. Wrong side. So we are at Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dixon, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Nanda Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler-Reese, Linda Watson-Hammonds, Darrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selva Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore. Where we at? Now I gotta go to the list. Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavina Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mae Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Barham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinier, Amatel Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs, Triggs, the second Vena Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Lee Monares, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan. We have William Walter West, Nigel Parrish, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Denise Waters, DeFridas Hines, Ines Bostic, and the Bostic, Winifred Scanabay, Wilson Haley, Alma Hine, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Kevin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Isa Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Neilon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Suann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christine Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, R.G. Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Bradley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Junko Shea George, and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Don Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Quillen and Bob Patrick, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Hare, Tubman Case, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron, Nino Baby Hatchet, Senior, Melly Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Max Nixon, John Bowie, Lester, and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Preston Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Rome Alls, and West Staten, Joe, Jamel Alls, and Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Lauren Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruth Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Don Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Jabban McCormick, Robert Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shakamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Albert, Masbury Crawford, George Swan, Imania Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Shirley Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We move to our black book. We got Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shane Lewis, Reynolds Sheldon Jr., Damian Top, Christina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jermate, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshall McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quincy Sample, Candace Simmons, Severn Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Gardner, Melvin Scott Sr., Eric Clarence Lunkins, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Correa, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khaled is in transition, also known as Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gantz, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruthie Lane Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Manga III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thorin Johanna, Cassandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Alalti Sue Walton, Enmo Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Hakeem Nkoma, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, Tillar Woods Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamara Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Nettie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnilla Willis, Ethel Lane, Samantha Damon, Ethel Marshall, Steve Dougie Shelton, William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Grace, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Drusilla Merle, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Merle, Sylvester Foster, James and Lizzie Winston, Abe and Julia Lawrence, Ozell Leathers Sr., Gladys Kofer, Ozell Leathers Jr., Geneva Jackson, R.J. Lacey, a.k.a. Tooth the Don, Xavier Winston, Chris Kinney, Margaret Mentor, Mary Smith, Juanita Florine Stith Gibbs, Carl Williams Duncans Jr., Janet Callahan, Danny Hill, Miko D. Nice Hill, Andre Martin, Mabel Williams. We lift our glass up and we salute our ancestors once again, and we give a resounding and a powerful ashe. From there, family, where do we go? From there, hold on. Because once again, we're having problems with Spreaker. And I want to make sure that the Speaker fam is getting what they are supposed to be getting. Wi-Fi. I need to make sure. I got to turn on. There we go. Wi-Fi. Switch to Wi-Fi. Boom. Boom. Power. Connection. Gye-Nyame family is not working for you. So we're going to go to Hatim. There we go. Connect. Boom. So hopefully I didn't drop the stream. Okay. Let's keep going. Come on. Come on. You got a signal. Why you tripping? It stopped. Oh, that worked for nothing. Damn. All right. Sorry, Spreaker. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Spreaker, man, that's my loyal. That's the special forces of fan bases. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. All right, so because I cut the Bluetooth off here, I got to go on in. So we salute the ancestors, and we read them all by name. So family, if you want to get your name on the list, by all means, you are welcome. Post it up on the timeline. So from our ancestors from the past, you know what I'm saying? We recognize the pact that we have with the past, and we raise our glass and we salute it because they secure space and time for us. So we have to secure space and time for our children, right? So we move into the moment. We lift up this moment and we say, family, this is all we have, the moment. We have to get busy in the moment. We got to do work in the moment. We got to maintain the moment so that we are able to pass this moment on to the next generation. So the question is, what are you doing with your moments, right? So we lift up our glass here at Gye-Nyame Journey and we salute this moment, right? And we want to give all of the Kuumba born, a round of applause. Round of applause. see y'all wasn't slow on eating them snacks. You know, I'm just like, yo, you know, I tell the fan, yo, come on now. It was over there grubbing. But anyway, family, we are on the marvelous day of Kuumba. So family, I ask you to open up your reticular formations, open them up, turn them on. Use them to track down Kuumba. Where is Kuumba happening in your community, in your life, in your family, at your job? You know what I'm saying? Wherever you are, there is a principle. Our principle is moving around there. You need to get it. You need to get it. Find it. Track it down. Hold it. But don't kill it. All right? Let it go back out into the community. All right? So we raise up our glass and we remember this moment. Now, also today, for those that don't speak the language, we are celebrating Kuumba, which means creativity. We're also looking at the meiotic principle of order. We're looking at the color orange, which you see I have on here. We got cause and effect as the hermetic laws of the day. Male name for the day is Kwame, and female name is Ama. And we raise up our glass and we remember our pact with our ancestors. And we also remember the promise that we make to the future generations, that we will make sure and we will maintain what was passed to us. As a matter of fact, we're going to add a little bit to it and we're going to pass it to the future. So we got to handle our business in and now. So that means we have to wake up in and now and get busy. So we raise our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move on. We move on to our future generations. We toast our future generations and we celebrate them. We thank them in advance. We raise our glass and we say Ashe. From there, family, move to all of our relations. All of our relations. We raise our glass and we say Ashe. From all of our relations, it's time for that selfish toast. This is for you. What is it that you need in this moment to move towards the greater you? Right? What is it that you need right now to move to a community building you? What is it that you need in this moment right now? Only in right now, in the now. We toast and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move on, and I want to raise my glass and salute the most beautiful, outstanding, inspirational, strong, wisest individual in the room. I raise my glass to you, salute you, and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, 100 years, and as we say in Gye-Nyame, get in. All right. Man, all right. So now we can open the lines. Now we can open the lines for anybody that want to join the show. You can feel free to come on the show. Holler at us. The number is 614-556-4535. Once again, that number is 614-556-4535. Like, brother, Hot Tim, what we talking about? It is your day. It's Toast and Talk, family. Now, I got some news items that I can hit. And you got some news items you can hit. I know there's stuff out there that you want to talk about. And if not, it's cool. I talk about the little bit of stuff that I got. And we'll keep it moving from there. So, of course, we're going to go to our news feed. We're going to go to the Gye-Nyame news feed. We're going to move over to that Hootsuite. We got that Hootsuite. We got that Hootsuite. Right? So, if you look on here, the beautiful thing about this Hootsuite is, right? Well, ain't no codes or nothing up there. Okay, cool. All right. We got our Gye-Nyame journey timeline. Got our personal timeline. We got a YouTube timeline. We got Gye-Nyame Journey YouTube timeline. As you can see, we up right here. You know what I'm saying? Then also, if we was to go a little bit farther over here, you know what I'm saying, we'll be able to see the other timelines that we got all packed up. So now what I need to do is put up the because I got other timelines here that we can see. I'm just showing y'all this so that y'all see some of the tools that's out here that you can actually be using to kind of, you know, get your stuff popping off. All right, so we got Gye-Nyame Journey, got Gye-Nyame Radio. That's the Instagram. I tell them on Facebook. We got our blogger up here. We got everything up here that we need to see. But anyway, so let's go down the news timeline. If you follow my arrow, right? You follow my arrow. All right, cool. Y'all see? So, the kids did a Black History celebration. They did their thing. I was very proud. All right. We're streaming live. Y'all can see it popped up. So here we go. First news item. What happened when Tulsa paid people to work remotely? Now, I don't want to go through that article, but I put it up there because Tulsa, Oklahoma was mentioned, and they are paying $10,000 to remote workers. So that they, people that don't need an office, so they just paid them to come and live in Tulsa. And they already had a ready-made community form. And, you can't help but to wonder, how much of this stuff that they're giving away was other people's stuff. You understand? Those that's in the know, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? How much of this stuff was other people's stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? How many black folks was included in the, in the amount of people that was brought in? You know what I'm saying? Y'all paid them, gave them, not only did they give them $10,000 sprinkled over a year, $10,000 extra money, because remember, they are remote workers, so they're already getting paid from handling their business. They sort of do what I do here. They might be streaming or they might be doing stuff computer-wise for other companies. But it's still going down. You know what I'm saying? But, I can't help but to ask how many of us, has benefited from that good gig, especially since the term Tulsa, Oklahoma is mentioned. I got a Washington Post piece here. I can't personally go to it because I used up all my free Washington Post. Jeff Bezos trying to get his money because this is Jeff Bezos' paper. But I think I should be having some type of free something because, Jeff Bezos owns it. So, I'm going to check. But I need to be checking to make sure that I'm eligible to get some of this for free. But how a propaganda campaign to minimize slavery role in the Civil War became American history. So this is episode 4. So and it's from something called The Lost Cause. So those that are able to read that, go and check that out. All right. A woman's bladder brewed its own alcohol, tripping drug tests. So now this story. I posted it up because I want to bring up this. I want y'all to think about this. So we have a woman that's going for a liver transplant, but she can't get a liver transplant because every time they test her for positive for alcohol. So they're like, why are we going to put a new liver in you so that you can fuck it up? She's like, look, I'm not drinking. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm not drinking. But it turns out that some elements of her microbiome in her bladder are brewing their own alcohol and is coming out of her urine. So the question I asked was this. The microbiome is incredible, but I wonder how much these tests costed. Now I'm asking that for a specific reason. I'm going to bring it back home in a second. Would your doctor go this deep for you, or would you be removed from the list because of your wealth and insurance would not be able to cover the payment? This woman is already going a procedure that's going to be probably a couple of $100,000, right? They won't certify her because they're testing alcohol in her blood. But finally, a doctor took an interest in the case because she kept coming back and she swears she wasn't drinking. You know what I'm saying? If that was one of us, they wouldn't even let us back in the hospital, right? We'd have been removed from the list and that just would have been it. No, not for her. But I wonder. But she could be black. Yeah, she could. Yeah, for real. I'm for real. She could. All right. So, I I have posted up a speech by James Baldwin. It was to a graduating class in 1963. And he brought up a point that I'm going to want to bring up to my young people. And I would like to play a couple minutes of this because I don't think anybody, you know what I'm saying? So we got somebody on here, but I want to play just a little bit of this video. Let's see if it'll come through.
A baby's not born with any idea of a society, no sense whatever of other people. Its mother exists principally, in fact entirely, for him or her, and its father exists somewhat later, entirely for him or her. It's only much, much later that the baby begins to realize that the parent on whom he depended for everything, and whom he supposed held up the world, is in fact just another human being who was not invented for him. That is, on the most primary level, one of the meanings of an education.
This video. Let's see if it'll come through. I need to pause it for 1 second.
A baby's not born with any idea of a society, no sense whatever of other people. Its mother exists principally, in fact entirely, for him or her, and its father exists somewhat later, entirely for him or her. It's only much, much later that the baby begins to realize.
I'm sorry.
On whom
I figured it out.
For everything, and whom he supposed held up the world, is in fact just another human being who was not invented for him. It is the only way that one is enabled to enlarge the world. Now that sounds like a very grandiose phrase. All it means is that when you, for example, begin to read, you discover more about the world than you knew before.
I would need some headphones.
You discover more about the world in two ways. This is why it is important.
I'm going to play.
There being, in fact, two worlds. One world is you. That this envelope.
I need some headphones.
I'm a world. I'm not the only world. That's my problem. But I am a world, and I am under the obligation to discover whatever it is that goes on in that world.
Let me use them.
And in order
is it playing?
Like aux cord plugin?
Yeah. Y'all hear him? Y'all hear him using the language? Like aux plug? Yeah. My son is a lightweight genius. Oh, these gaming ones, man. I'm gonna show you how to set up a stream, but you know, you acting a fool right now, so you won't be able to use it. So I'm gonna plug in so I can listen with you. So let's do it.
to do that, I have got to consent to become a social animal in order to discover and to enlarge what goes on. And finally,
so let's start over.
A baby's not born with any idea of a society, no sense whatever of other people. Its mother exists principally, in fact entirely, for him or her, and its father exists.
Hell, let's go to YouTube. Y'all can see the YouTube. Hey! So we go to YouTube and we just take it right from there. So y'all can see the whole YouTube thing. Give me a second to see if it's working.
What goes on? And finally,
so let's start over.
A baby's not born with any idea of a society, no sense whatever of other people.
Yeah, family.
Exists somewhat later.
But I might be
entirely for him or her. It's only much, much later that the baby begins to realize that the parent on whom he depended for everything and whom he supposed held up the world is in fact just another human being who was not invented for him. That is, on the most primary level, one of the meanings of an education. On another level, it is the only way that one is enabled to enlarge the world. Now that sounds like a very grandiose phrase. All it means is that when you, for example, begin to read, you discover more about the world than you knew before.
James Baldwin.
You discover more about the world in two ways. This is why it is important. There being, in fact, two worlds. One world is you. That this envelope, I'm a world. I'm not the only world. That's my problem. But I am a world, and I'm under the obligation to discover whatever it is that goes on in that world. And in order to do that, I have got to consent to become a social animal in order to discover and to enlarge what goes on in this world, which is all of you and many millions of people, both living and dead, past and to come. And finally, this is where it begins to be difficult. The measure of one's dignity depends on oneself. It really does not depend, as so many people in this country now seem to believe, on someone else's estimate. It depends, first of all, on what you take yourself to be, what your real standards are, what you think is right, what you think is wrong, what you think life is all about, what you think life is for. Now you are all very young. And I say that, by the way, with great humility. You are all still unformed. Well, let me put it another way. You are not finally formed. And you are still, to put it brutally, I want to put it brutally because I want to make my point absolutely clear. You are still at the mercy of your elders. You are still at the mercy of the standards of your elders. Let us go back again to the whole concept of education. And bear in mind, then, that education does not and cannot occur in a vacuum. It occurs in a social context. It occurs in a social context, and it has social ends. For example, to take a very brutal example, the children of the Third Reich were educated by the Third Reich in order to fulfill the purposes of the Third Reich. Hitler did this on a very old principle. The principle referred to Third Reich were educated by the Third Reich in order to fulfill the purposes of the Third Reich. Hitler did this on a very old principle. The principle referred to by priests and in the Bible, and which every parent somewhere knows. If you give me the child for 5 years, I'll have him the rest of his life. So that if that is so, one has then got to be aware that one of the purposes of an education, your responsibility before your educators, is to question the purpose of this education. Let me give you then your
All right. Let's bring it back around. And cause I listened to that yesterday. I mean, it popped up on my timeline, and I said, let me go and listen. You know what I'm saying? I read Native Son. I didn't totally understand what was going on in Native Son, but recently I had an opportunity to listen to an interview that featured James Baldwin and Malcolm X. And then I heard a few other things where James Baldwin was, having debates with people and handing them their ass. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, let me go hear what this man is saying to these high school students. Now, family, I just take this into account because a lot of y'all work in education, we work around children. This brother said something within the first 3 minutes that shook me at my core, right? And it brought up the question of the purpose of education, which is something that I've been wrestling with and I've been asking for a long time. But he used a term, he said education does not and cannot take place in a vacuum. The term he used, there is a social context with a social end. Now, family, what is, and you, this, please take this seriously when I ask this, no offense, right? Because we got to move the blinders off our eyes because I want you, listen, what is the social context and the social end of the education process that we are involved in and that we have our children involved in? What is the social context in which our children are being educated, and what is the social end? Now, let me put it even more specific, being a black man, because we got the social, but then you also had a cultural context and the cultural end. What is it? Can you answer this? See, because now we have to really look at some of the strategies that's being deployed against us, right? Because family, because look, politics, we know. Economics, we know, right? A lot of the laws, we know, right? Education, we know, but yet and still, we willingly, and I don't think y'all getting it. We willingly hand over our children. Now and we don't know the social context or understand it, nor do we understand the social ends. Or better yet, it's not that we don't understand it, it's that we don't think that it's important. Which do you think it is? Right? In there he talks about, in the Christian doctrine, they say, you give me your child for 5 years and I will have him for the rest of his life. We give our children to these people, to this system for 13 years. 13 years where even sometime we might come in and have to check our children in the school, not understanding the social context or the social end of the education or the cultural context or the cultural end of the education process. Family, I'm on even above politics, even above economics. The most diabolical thing that has happened is that we have willingly turned our children over to a place where they are being educated in a vacuum, which he says can happen. But it's happening now. Our children have no idea about why they need this stuff that they're getting. And they don't have a social context in which to even measure it. And neither do we as the parents. We just handing them over. We got any fam out there way so we can get a ride to Warrior? Hold on, who is this? Kwame, you need a ride? Hold on. Restream, hold on. Let me check, because Brother Kwame. Great Kuumba fam. We got any fam out this way so I can get a ride to Warrior training? I'm serving Shay Witty, and meritorious manumission. Kwame, I got you. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make something happen. Cause like I said, I could just take the long way around and get off the expressway, come get you. It's cool. So that means I will have to leave here soon, but it's cool. But family, I just listen to me. Social context, social end. Then see, because it didn't hit me until he hit with the Third Reich. He said the Third Reich, the children were educated by the Third Reich to fulfill the needs of the Third Reich. Then I go back in, cause now what I need to do, I need to go and find Amos Wilson piece. Cause now that I can do this, we gonna start listening to some damn Amos Wilson. My fault, the honored ancestor Amos Wilson, right? So that we can really start getting it, because any people that allow their children to be educated by those that don't care about them are doomed forever. May even be wiped out of existence. Because you have to, with our children, we got to control the social context and the social ends. What our children are getting in the social context and the social ends is that your parents are powerless, and guess what? So will you. You will be too. You are being educated to be powerless. You are being educated to be a pawn, a proletariat, not a mover and a shaker. And I was going to do a separate video for this, but all right. So I just got done listening to a history piece about the Punic Wars. And I was sad. I was excited, but I was sad because, like I told you, I can't stand listening to stuff that I know what the end is going to be. But the reason I wanted to listen to it so I could get some of the intricate aspects of what was going on there. So you had the first Punic War, which was by Hamilcar or Hasdrubal. I'm gonna stop. I'm not good at remembering the names, but it was Hannibal's daddy. Hannibal's daddy, in a sense, got pushed back, and his people were put up under the thumb of Italy, of Rome. And Hannibal's dad hated them. So he brought up his child with a social context. He educated his child with a social context and a cultural context and a social end. And a cultural end was that you need to destroy them. Rome must be destroyed. This is what he's raised up under. Now, I don't know if all the other Carthaginians was raised up under that, because they're paying these fines every year. Because I want you to understand something about the Roman mind, which is the same mind that basically constructed this system. They based this system on a lot of shit out of Rome. Rome believes in subjugation so that they can control everything. If you're going to be a trading partner with me, I am going to be supreme. Matter of fact, I want to take all your shit so that, you know what I'm saying? So that I decide and I get paid from your stuff. Roman mind state. So Rome would not only whoop you, but then they would have you pay fines every year. And in these fines was designed for you to show your subjugation as a group to them. You declared yourself a loser. So if you didn't pay this, Rome would come and totally destroy you. You have to show, because in Roman mind state, if you don't declare that you're a loser, then you're dangerous. You have to declare you a loser. Not only by you paying, but in our negotiations, you don't talk to me like a man. You're not Roman. And Hannibal's daddy hated that shit. Right? So he raised his sons. He raised his sons that hate Rome. Social context, social end. After his father died, Hannibal inherited. His father carved out some space and time for him and some resources, and Hannibal and his brothers inherited. And Hannibal took his and did what he was going to do, and y'all all know that. So then we had the Second Punic War. And at the end of the Second Punic War, Hannibal had lost. This is the part that I got sad about. But bringing it back around to us. The part that reminds me of us is the Third Punic War. Hannibal had been dead for about 100 years. Rome had never forgot the ass whooping they got at Cannae. So one of the senators, by the name of Cato, I think that was his name, who hated Carthage, took on a stubborn minority stance, and at the end of every speech he gave, he would say, and by the way, I believe that Carthage needs to be destroyed. He would go to a birthday party, and at the end, they say, "Hey, Senator Cato say, thank you for inviting me. And by the way, I believe Carthage should be destroyed." He go to a baby shower. "Oh, that's a beautiful baby. Thank you, Senator. And by the way, I believe that Carthage should be destroyed." He's sitting around with his friends drinking. Hamilcar, cool. Sitting around with his friends drinking. And as they drinking and they getting drunk, I believe Carthage should be destroyed. And the system, him being a stubborn minority, right, it started to work for him. And then one day he was giving a speech, probably about something else. He was giving a speech, and in his speech, he allowed a big, healthy fig or whatever it was, some type of fruit to fall, and it was a beautiful fruit. And he picked it up and he said, "Oh, such a beautiful fruit." And he held it up for all to see. And he said, "You know, this fruit comes from this fruit in this state got here to the Roman shores within 3 days. And he ate the fruit. Where the fruit from? Because people concerned. Why? First off, if they could get a fruit here fresh like this in 3 days, that's a problem. And if they got fruit like this, there's some money there. Oh, I got this fruit from Carthage." So Rome went on an immediate campaign to destroy Carthage. Stubborn minority pushed his piece and pushed his education piece through to where now not only was he saying, "I believe Carthage must be destroyed," now the whole Senate and all of Rome is in agreement that Carthage must be destroyed. But what this got to do with us in education, Brother Hatim? Carthage was already up under their thumb. They had finished paying their 50-year thing, because, it was a 50-year thing, and they still had diplomatic relationships with Rome and the punk-ass Numidians, and please look them up. The punk-ass Numidians were encroaching on their territory, but the Numidians worked with the Romans, and the Carthaginians was like, "Y'all ain't gonna do shit about this. They just taking land." So Rome said they weren't gonna do nothing because that Numidia is part of the reason that they was able to beat Hannibal. So they're like, "Shit, do what y'all want." So the Carthaginians declared war on the Numidians, who just happened to be African people too. Brother Hatim, bring it home. Here you go. So, once Cato's plan went through and got everybody on the same page in Rome, they was determined to destroy Carthage. So what they do? Step one. They go to Carthage and give them some unjust. First off, y'all declare war on one of our, whatever you call those, one of our teammates or whatever. I can't remember the term that they use. We got diplomatic relations with them. They are allies, and you declare war on them. Therefore, you declare war on us. And we want to make sure that you don't have any hostile intentions. We don't have no big with Rome. We got big respect for Rome. You know, y'all get our produce. Yeah, we noticed that these produce, and you paid off your 50-year debt. You know what I'm saying? On time, every year. But yet and still, we don't trust you. What we need is 300 of your children. Not just any children. I don't want you to go out here and just, I want 300 of your, I want 300 of your government children. They gave away their children just to keep peace with Rome. Rome wasn't satisfied. Rome came back and said, you done gave us the kids. And you say, well, what else y'all want? Wait, hold on, wait. If y'all don't have no intentions of going to war, we need y'all to give up control of all your weapons. What did he say? Motherfucker just told us. What? The only way you're going to prove to us that you are loyal to Rome, that you do not want to go to war with us, is for you to give up all your weapons. And guess what they did? Gave up all their weapons. Gave them a whole lot. My baby said that. That's really dumb, but they want to keep peace. So the final straw was that Rome finally decided to say, listen. I know you gave us your children, and I know that you gave us all your weapons, but now, so that we can make sure that you want peace, we need you to move your city 10 miles inland. They say, whoa, hold on, wait. You're saying that the only way we can have peace with y'all, we done gave you 300 of our children, and I'm still catching hell about that. We done gave you all our weapons. Now you're saying that you want us to move Carthage 10 miles inland. Yeah, we don't want you by the sea. You know, y'all get ideas, and we're not feeling safe. Y'all with the, you know.
That's stupid.
Hold on. So the response that the Roman gave to the Carthaginians, when the Carthage said, that's Carthage. You want us to destroy Carthage. He said, I didn't know Carthage was buildings and temples and sites for the ancestors. I thought Carthage were the people. Now, family, bring it back to the whole education piece. We're giving our children freely to our enemies. We have already been put in a position of basically where we don't have weapons that could even match anything that they have. This is the position that we're in. We don't have any weapons, any physical weapons or any the mental weapon. All that shit has been stripped out of our community. They move us around at will. Right? We have surrendered everything. And yet what we do, I mean, it's just, it's crazy to me, because it's like we're living the Carthaginian nightmare time and time again. And we haven't taken the lessons because the whole goal was to destroy Carthage, which they did. As a matter of fact, find Carthage on the map. As a matter of fact, find Numidia on the map.
Is that real?
Yeah, everything you are saying is true, and that's why we are in the position we are in. Family. The reason they want to get their hands on the children is because the children are the next generation. And for the last 50, 60, 70 years, we've been given free access to our children so they could be educated in a social context that is not theirs, with a social end that does not serve the people. Stripped of any cultural context or stripped of any cultural end. The goal is to destroy Carthage. This time, not by a siege. This time by economics. This time by social policy. This time, we don't even have to come in and destroy all the land. You will kill yourself by suicide, which we see every day. Y'all will allow others to come in and leech off of your community because you don't know better. You done gave your children to Rome so that they could be educated with a Roman context and a Roman end. The support. And that don't include them. So family, if we want to change this position, not only do we got to talk about the financial aspect of reparations, but we also got to talk about the educational aspect of reparations, because a lot of people skip over this shit because most people just think that it's about money. Family, it's deeper than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. You know, we need to get hold of our children's minds with these people out the way. Really. We do. That is the high, for me, that's the highest level of reparations that we could get. Access to our children's mind with some resources to do some real rebuilding so that we can set up a social and a cultural context and determine what the social and cultural ends will be for our communities, for our families, for our tribes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get all hyped up like that. But anyway.
Yes, you did.
Ooh, Sasha, you talk so much. All right, so family, right now, let me go right here. And I'm gonna get off here because I need to go and get Kwame. Oh, who hung up? Somebody hung up on the conference. I hung up on my own conference call.
You did?
Yeah. How do I hang up on my own conference call? I'm the most disrespectful host. See, this is the only show where I can hang up on my own goddamn self. I just did it. I'm a bad man. Bad man. Right? But anyway, let's keep it moving. The LA Times, the new burger chef makes $3 an hour and never goes home. I told y'all it was coming. The new burger chef makes $3 an hour and never goes home. It's a robot.
It is.
Yeah. So, in a minute, some people ain't even gonna be able to flip burgers. They coming. They're coming. It's coming. Are we prepared? Are we preparing our children? Are we having real discussions? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on, and this is the challenge that I want to say. This is a challenge I'm going to say, family. Think about this. In many ways, we have to spend so much time entertaining our young people when we do get them that we don't have time to have real talk with them. Because we have given our 300 children to the Carthaginians and we done gave up all of our weapons. So now when they make a siege on the wall, we got to protect ourselves with rocks.
I know why they went to 300 kids.
Why, Jen? Why, Sasha Marsh?
Because their father...
Come on now. You talk to the people. You talk to the people now. Because if me and you gonna have a conversation, we can do this after the show. But if you talking over there and everybody's over here, you got to come talk to the mic. Okay, don't do it. Roman indoctrination of the Hellenistic period. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so let's move on. The burger chef is coming. Get ready. Get ready. Last but not least, I think, this is the last one. We got here tell me use weather to help increase success rate of the Underground Railroad. Interesting article. Go and look at it and check it out. But family, I'm about to get up out of here because I need to go and make sure brother Kwame gets to where he needs to be. So I am going to call it a day. So let's go on up out of here. Let's go to All right, family. I want to thank y'all for joining us here at the Congregation of the Mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where you hustle. The hell just happened? Of course, you know this is the Toast&Talk Kuumba, and it's a Heart of the Simple production. Well, we strive to blow up your own paradise. Why is my desktop audio on? It shouldn't be on. Now y'all killing me. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Now I understand. All right. So y'all gonna get a slight rumble because everything I play on my computer goes across the desktop audio. So now